Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will start the chapter number 10, forces. What is force? Force is a push or pull that acts on an object to affect its movements or shape. Forces are push or pulls. You cannot see the forces, but you can see what they do. If something starts to move or speed up, a force is acting on it.
Force. We hear the usage of this term many times in our day-to-day life. We might not know that we're using it. Opening a door, riding a bicycle, lifting an object are few of the most common things that we perform in our daily lives, and all these require a force. What is a force? Consider a ball lying on the ground at rest. It's not moving. Suppose this player here wants to pass this ball to his teammate who's standing on the other side of the pitch. How will he do that? He needs to make this ball move in the direction of his teammate. So he will kick the ball in the direction of his teammate. When he kicks the ball, we say that he applied a force on the football. Yes, the kick is nothing but the force he applied on the ball. Now suppose that we have a desk here at point A. A person wants to move this desk from point A to this point B. Again, how will he do that? Here, he will push the desk towards point B. In this case, we say that the person applied a force on the desk in order to shift it. The push here is the force that the person applied on the desk. Similarly, when you lift some object from the table, we say that you applied a force on that object. Here, the force is applied in the form of lifting. So, forces are nothing but actions such as kicking, pushing, lifting, etc. performed on objects. There are many such actions that we can perform. We have already seen few of these. Some more of them are given below. While riding a bicycle, we pedal it continuously to keep it in motion. Here, pedaling is the force that we apply on a bicycle. Hitting the hammer on a nail is also a force applied on the nail. What about stopping a moving ball? Yes, even stopping the ball means we are applying a force on it. We applied some force to stop the ball. Opening a drawer, plucking the string of a guitar, moving a piece on a chessboard are some of the other actions performed on objects. So performing these actions on objects is nothing but applying force on them. But these are just a handful of simply too many actions that we can perform on the objects. And it's not possible to write each one of those. But we can categorize all these actions into two basic ones. That is, we can describe all these actions under two actions, namely pushing and pulling. For example, when we open this drawer, we are simply pulling the knob of the drawer to open it. Similarly, when we are drawing or lifting a bucket of water from the well, we are pulling the bucket towards us. What are the actions that can be described under pushing? Actions such as passing the ball, hitting the hammer on the nail, etc. can be thought of as pushing an object. Are there any actions that can be described under both? Yes, there are. Suppose there's a book on the table, you can either pull it towards you like this or push it away from you like this. So moving an object can be described under both. Similarly, opening or shutting a door can be thought of as both. So we can safely say at this point that the forces are nothing but the push or pull applied on objects. Forces are due to interaction between the bodies or objects. What does it mean? Let's go back to our first example of this video. Here, in order to pass the ball to his teammate, the player must move it. That is, he must interact with the ball to move it in the direction of his teammate. He interacts with the ball by kicking it. The ball and the player interact with each other. In the second example, in order to move the desk from point A to point B, he must interact with the desk. We will study more on these interactions in the future videos. Now, since we are clear with the basic understanding of what force is, let me put its definition in front of you. It states that A force is a push or pull upon an object resulting from the object's interaction with another object. In the next lesson, we will talk more.
Now we will discuss how can we represent the force. The force is represented by an arrow. The direction the arrow points the direction the force is acting. The size the arrow can be used to compare the size of the forces. Now we will discuss different type of forces: contact forces and non-contact forces. Contact forces: forces experienced by body when they are in physical contact with each other. There are the two type of contact forces: muscular force, frictional force. Muscular force due to the action of the muscles, frictional force acting opposite to the direction of a motion. Non-contact forces: the forces experienced by the bodies even if they are not in physical contact with each other. There are the three type of non-contact forces: magnetic force, electrostatic force, gravitational force. Magnetic force exerted by a magnet, electrostatic force exerted by a charged body on another charged body, gravitational force attractive forces exerted between two objects. Forces on moving object. Water resistance: the force on an object moving through the water that causes it to slow down. Air resistance: the force on an object moving through the air that causes it to slow down. Drag: the force on an object moving through air or water causing it to slow down. Tension, stretching force. Upthrust: the force on an object in a liquid or gas that pushes it up.
There are many types of forces. Let us study about the different types of forces by performing some activities. Activity 1. Take a few iron nails or pins and keep them on a piece of paper. Bring a magnet near them. What do you observe? The nails or pins move towards the magnet and get stuck to it. The force by which the nails are attracted towards the magnet is called magnetic force. Activity 2. Take a plastic comb or a plastic scale and rub it on your hair for a minute. Bring the comb or scale near the tiny pieces of paper. What do you observe? The pieces of paper are attracted towards the comb or the scale. The force developed by rubbing the comb or scale is called electrostatic force. Activity 3. Throw a ball upwards. What do you observe? After reaching to some height, it comes down to the ground. Why? Because our earth exerted some force on it and pulls it down. This pull of the earth is called gravitational force. Activity 4. Roll a ball on the floor. After some time, it stops. Though no force is applied. What makes the ball stop? There is a force of friction between the surface of ball and the surface of floor. It is this force of friction that makes the ball stop after some time. When any object moves over a surface, the force which opposes the motion of an object is called frictional force. Look at the boy running and the girl lifting her bag. They are using muscular force.
Measuring forces. Forces are measured in unit called Newton. A device for measuring forces is called force meter, such as a spring balance.